foundation level newsletter will be available at the beginning of each term. Inside that newsletter will include all of the important dates coming up over that term, and obviously give you a little bit of an insight into the areas of the curriculum that we are focusing on and covering for that term. It is really important that you read it and just double check, either stick it on your fridge or put it in a safe place, because there are some really important dates and information for your child that you probably will need to refer to throughout the term.
Organising your child. Thank you so much to all the parents so far who have come in and helped to organise their child in the morning. It's been amazing seeing all of your support. However, we do encourage the children to unpack their own bags from now on, which we have seen them all do already, and they are more than capable of packing their own bags in the afternoon. We ask you to do this just so that we can grow their independence and help them to grow up that little bit faster, as much as you don't want that to happen. Make sure that you please label everything. The amount of times we find hats without names, even across the whole school, jumpers, uniforms, even t-shirts, it's worthwhile putting names on. Just label everything. By now you should have also received a blue communication bag that has come home. The blue bag is for carrying home diaries, sound books, any reading that we send home, any other notices and organisational things that you might need. You will need to check it every night. It might be empty sometimes, but it is something that you'll need to go through and then send back to school the next day. This bag stays with your child from foundation all the way up to year 6. The diary will come home a little bit later in the term, and it will be used to record your child's reading or the sound book work that you have done that night. There'll be more on homework a bit later in the slides.
Homework. It's such a big word for lots of kids, sometimes a dreaded word for parents, but in foundation it's supposed to be something that should be an enjoyable time that you spend with your child. It's only supposed to be a short 10 minutes of revision, or maybe even 5 minutes. And it's anything that obviously that you can do to support your child will be beneficial. The main focus for our term 1 will be the Jolly Phonics soundbook that will come home. Jolly Phonics is a literacy-based program that we use here at St. Elizabeth's, and you'll see that inside the soundbook there will be a little bit of information there for you to give you some ideas about what to do with that soundbook when it comes home. We obviously recommend that you just practice the sounds that are stuck in the book each day by flicking through, encouraging your child to recognise the sound. There's also an action that accompanies the sound, and you can practice saying words that maybe begin with that sound with your child as well.
Reading. You may have noticed by now that we are not sending home readers, and we won't send home readers till about halfway through term 2, maybe even not till term 3. This is because of the Jolly Phonics program that we use. It focuses more on learning the sounds and blending sounds together before asking a child to read whole words and recognising text in a big print. So we won't send home readers until we think they're ready and until we have learnt all the 42 sounds. When we do start to bring books home, you're just expected to read it with them, ask them lots of questions about what happened, what characters were in the book, does it remind them of anything that you've done together before, and lots of questions like that. Even though we're not bringing home readers from school, it's still really important that you do explore picture books or other books that you might have at home or your local library or even the school library books, just to get them that love of reading instilled in your child, and to again look at the different parts of a book and what's happening in the story.
Diaries. Diaries are a really important tool to keep the communication lines open between home and school. They're also really beneficial for the children to learn how to obviously keep track of their reading and the work that they're doing for their homework. So here on this slide you'll see a visual that has a diary, and it's an example that has been filled in, so you know exactly what you need to write and where it needs to go. So it says how to record your child's nightly reading. You'll see at the top on each day of the week, you need to write either the title of the text, or if it's just the Jolly Phonics sound book, just put sound book. If you do read books at home, we'd love you to write the name of the book in there too. So that gives us an idea of the books that they are reading at home and that you are doing some reading. And obviously just a signature from one of the parents, so that we can see that some type of work is being done at home. And obviously down the bottom there is a part where you can write important notes. Beck and I do tend to mostly check these on a Friday, but if you obviously tell your child there is a note in there, or some days at the beginning we do check them most days just in case there is a note in there. So that's a really good way of keeping in contact with us as well.
Specialists and library. Here at St. E's we have 4 specialists, so the children go to Chinese, performing arts, media and sport. They are all on different days, but you don't really need to worry too much about what days they're on, except for sport, which will be a Wednesday, because the children will need to wear their runners that day. They also have the choice to wear their coloured sports top. In the first 5 to 6 weeks of school, we also do a program called Footsteps, which is all about active risk-taking through dancing. It's on a Monday for, like I said, the first 6 weeks, and the children can wear their runners as well on those days. Library will happen on a Friday for Foundation BK and on a Thursday for Foundation JC. The children will need to have a library bag to borrow, so if you haven't brought one to school yet, please make sure you do that with their name on it as soon as possible.
Food in Foundation. Throughout our day, there are 2 allocated eating times. We encourage you to provide 2 mini lunches for your child. Children in Foundation are more than welcome to have some small treats, but we obviously do encourage them to eat their sandwich or their rice or their pasta or any other yummy noodles and things that they might bring first before they have their treat food. We do encourage the children to bring nude food, so that includes foods that don't have wrappers around them. All wrappers will be placed in their lunch boxes to take home. So if your child does have products that do have wrappers, we encourage them to take them home so you can put them in the bin at home instead of putting them in our bins here. Nuts is an important topic that we all need to be well aware of, obviously in our community, but definitely in St. Elizabeth's too. We do have children in our community and our school that are severely allergic to nuts, so we do ask you not to pack products that have nuts in them. So things like Nutella in sandwiches, peanut butter, or things that might contain nuts in them. It's also probably a good idea to have a look at your child's lunchbox, and it's obviously been a week or 2 since we started Foundation, and just have a look and see what they're eating during that amount of time. We do give them extra time in Foundation to eat, so they are normally having about 20 to 25 minutes to eat snack time and lunch. So if your child is not getting through a lot of that food, maybe pick out some of the things that you really would like them to eat and talk to them about what you would like them to eat.
Subway and birthdays. At our school, we have the option of getting a Subway lunch order every Friday. There are envelopes in the office near Lisa that you can fill out your child's order and put the money inside, and then we will send it into Subway for the next day. So if you would like to do that, you have to have your envelope and money in on Thursday, and then the Subway will come for your child on the Friday at lunchtime. Birthdays. Birthdays are obviously a huge thing in Foundation. We love to celebrate birthdays and little achievements. We do encourage you to bring something to share with the class on your child's birthday, because it is such a special time for them. However, please bring something small that's easy to share amongst the other kids. Things like small cupcakes, a Freddo frog, or a healthy party pack would be great. We will give the kids the treats at the end of the day, and they will be sent home because we're not allowed to eat them at school due to allergies and things like that.
Well, we've reached the end of our little mini presentation here. Thank you for obviously listening, and thank you for reading all the important information. There is actually so much, sometimes perhaps an overload of information, especially in foundation, especially for those parents that this is your first child coming into their first primary year. So please don't hesitate to come and ask us if there's anything that you're not sure of. We're always here, we can clarify anything. And we obviously look forward to meeting you over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you again for your support so far this year. We've had a great start to foundation and look forward to a fun year ahead. Also, just on that note, don't forget to check the newsletters each term because there'll be more information all the time.
Oh, and FlexiBuzz too. That's always a good thing to keep on top of as well. So make sure you have it installed on your phone. Bye.
Bye.
Well, we've reached the end of our little mini presentation here. Thank you for obviously listening, and thank you for reading all the important information. There is actually so much, sometimes perhaps an overload of information, especially in foundation, especially for those parents that this is your first child coming into their first primary year. So please don't hesitate to come and ask us if there's anything that you're not sure of. We're always here, we can clarify anything. And we obviously look forward to meeting you over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you again for your support so far this year. We've had a great start to foundation and look forward to a fun year ahead. Also, just on that note, don't forget to check the newsletters each term because there'll be more information all the time.
Oh, and FlexiBuzz too. That's always a good thing to keep on top of as well. So make sure you have it installed on your phone.